When mentioning the top expensive countries to live in, Canada doesn't come to mind with all the free publicity it is getting regarding the next best place to move to if you want an improved quality of life. Here's the latest. Canada is so expensive to live in when compared to the United States and other countries among the G7. Shocking, I know. Join me as I lay it all bare. The reasons why Canadians and non-Canadians are complaining fiercely over the high cost of living here, from housing, internet services, and groceries, will unravel it all. Housing is top of the list of expensive things driving Canadians crazy. Getting a decent home at an affordable price is almost impossible. The price Canadians pay for a one-bedroom can be used to get a two-bedroom in a different country. In spite of the rising cost of living in Canada, there are some cities you may want to avoid for their extra costs. According to Canadian Housing Market News, the average housing price in Canada is 40% higher compared to the average housing price in the United States. On average, a house in Canada costs around $650,000, and in places like Toronto, the price is $1,004,768. Meanwhile, the average U.S. home price is $420,000. Let's go a bit deeper into the most expensive cities to live in Canada. If you want to move up here, you can avoid these places in the meantime until you're settled. There's Calgary, Alberta, with an average monthly take-home pay of $3,893 and a total cost per month of $2,500. According to reports, the average price for a single-family home in Calgary is around $600,000. The average rent in Calgary for a two-bedroom apartment is $2,500. Impossible for a regular Canadian. Next, Hamilton, Ontario. Living in Ontario is expensive. The average price for a home in Hamilton is around $850,000 Canadian dollars, with the average monthly pay being at $3,116 and the total cost per month at $2,590. You can paint a picture, can't you? Then there's Ottawa, where the average price of a house is around $610,000. To live comfortably here, you need to earn over $3,500, as you'll be spending on average $20,900 monthly. Coming up with the trophy of the most expensive city in Canada, Vancouver. As an immigrant, moving here without knowing what it means will have you fleeing in less than a year. According to Nesto, the average price for a house in Vancouver is $1 million, $100,000. Closely following Vancouver for most expensive places to live in is Toronto. The cost of a house goes for as high as $1,100,000. One is required to spend over $3,787 a month from an average monthly income of $3,642. You see the irony. So what's it with the high housing costs in Canada anyway? Canada still witnesses a large inflow of immigrants everywhere, those who are ignorant of what it means to live in Canada. That's until it dawns on them and they run back to another promising city. This massive inflow of immigrants has led to a scarcity of houses in Canada. With barely enough houses to go around, the available ones are on sale or given for rent for very high prices. As more people move to cities for better job opportunities and a higher standard of living, it leads to a housing shortage in urban areas, making it difficult for locals to pay what they did in the past. Urbanization in Canada is felt fiercely as major cities have been, experiencing significant growth over the past few decades. So you have a lot of people coming in to have a slice of the opportunity pie Canada offers or promises to offer. Besides the inflow of people, the high cost of land also makes housing so expensive in Canada. It is quite simple. As cities continue to grow, land becomes scarcer and prices rise. As land prices increase, developers have to charge more for their projects to make a profit, which can drive up the cost of a house in Canada. The cost of land is in turn affected by several factors like location, zoning regulations, and demand. Canada's zoning regulations also affect the cost of land, as certain areas may be zoned for specific types of development. The high cost of telecom services in Canada is something else to talk about. The reasons given by this industry for its high services clearly don't add up. Talks like costly operating margins and a sparse Canadian population aren't justifiable for the prices fixed because in other countries, even with such factors, prices are significantly lower. Their hold on the industry is rigid, and this is a cause of concern. Regulators have got to increase competition for mobile and internet services in Canada to even things out and make things easier for Canadians. Everyone knows after the internet, food is the next thing you need to survive. Sad to say, Canadians aren't getting food how they ought to. According to Statistics Canada, as of May 2023, grocery prices rose 9% year over year. For a while now, Canadians have suffered from higher prices on some consumer goods. When you compare the prices they pay to other countries, it is without a doubt the greatest robbery left to continue happening without any restrictions. So now, why does food cost so much in Canada? It's basically the same problem of a few players in the food industry. Canada's grocery market is dominated by just a few companies. If there are more players, prices would not be this high. On a domestic level, the three most popular ones are Loblaws, Metro, and Sobeys. These companies own several smaller chains, including discount brands that mislead the public into thinking they are competitors. For instance, Loblaws has No Frills, Sobeys has Freshco, and Metro has Food Basics. This is a misleading tactic as it is all owned by the same people. Besides these three, there's Walmart and Costco. Together, these five companies account for more than 3/4 of all food sales in Canada, according to Canada's Competition Bureau. The lack of more retailers has made it possible for the dominant companies to participate in anti-competitive practices that end up harming consumers through higher prices. There can be cases of them fixing bread prices, preventing competitors from selling certain products, or collectively deciding when to freeze grocery prices and when to unfreeze them. In the past, the good old days, Canada had at least 8 large grocery chains in Canada, each owned by a different company. This was before mergers and acquisitions began to spring up front, right and center, resulting in a reduced level of competition. You could get stuff for way cheaper prices. Why did Canada's grocery situation turn out so badly? Well, it happened that since Canada was a small but large country, it'd make sense for there to be lower levels of competition to achieve a scale that is necessary to serve the various markets. We can see how brilliantly all that reasoning is playing out now. We're simply stuck with fewer options for consumers and painfully high prices. Now, it is a different tune being sung. The government is being pressured to find a way to increase choice and competition. A stop has to be put to these big mergers, and the big companies need to be prevented from using their power to crush competition that could be beneficial to Canadians. Yeah, they say it is expensive for them to ship food products across a country as large as Canada, and these costs are reflected in what Canadians pay in stores. We know this is scarcely the cause of the high prices of food items. The government has tried to solve the food problem by introducing the Price Transparency Act. This is to make retailers explain why Canadians sometimes pay higher prices than Americans for the same product. You'll agree, explanations aren't what Canadians need. An updated grocery price list is more like it. And when Canadians think of retirement, it looks pretty bleak. Pensions and retirement funds will hardly take you a good number of years if you're in one of the most expensive countries in the world. The smart thing to do to retire in comfort is to change locations when you're ready for retirement. Go to less expensive places like the countryside or move to a different country entirely. Mexico and some Latin American countries like Ecuador can offer you a comfortable retirement thanks to the considerably lower cost of living. This has helped many older ones live a dignified life after retirement. Canada still remains a beautiful country that offers some good opportunities regardless of how gloomy the situation seems at present. You don't have to leave if you can make it work. For instance, you mustn't start by living in the bigger, more expensive cities. Cities like Saskatoon, Regina, Fort McMurray, Red Deer, and Winnipeg are less expensive to live in. 2-bedroom apartments can be gotten for $1,000 or a little more. You can start from these places and work your way to the top. Whatever you decide, good luck.